This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, build your online presence with Squarespace. Hey everyone, I'm Ace of Clay and welcome to another sculpting video. If you're new here, I'm a sculptor and every week I make a new sculpture. Today I'm sculpting Buddy the Elf, but creepier, of course. Buddy is the main character in the movie Elf that came out a few years ago. It has quickly become a holiday classic, and I thought he would be the perfect victim for a creepy transformation. So I really hope you enjoy this process. And before we get started, speaking of creepy elves, meet the Holiday Hellion. This is my latest plush, and he is available right now at aceofclay.com. He's based on the you-know-who, on the you-know-what, and he is sure to add some Christmas fear to your holiday display this year. Just like all of my plushes, he is super high quality, made from plush microfiber, felt, real fuzzy hair, resin eyes, and beautiful embroidery. So if you want one, he is available right now at aceofclay.com. Grab him before he's gone. And I think the pre-orders are almost sold out. So if you want one, act fast. All right, now without further ado, let's make a creepy Buddy the Elf. Alright, you know the drill, let's get started. I've got my wooden plaque with the holes drilled for the wire. We're going to start shaping out one half of Buddy, then we're going to mirror it to create the other side, and then connect the parts with some more wire. I also added a third piece of wire in there for his neck. Now I want to get this guy into pretty much his final pose so I can start bulking him out with some super sculpty ultralight. I'm going to brush on some Bacon Bond first so the ultralight sticks, and then we're going to shape out his torso. This step can also be done with aluminum foil, but I prefer the ultralight just because it gives me more control. And once his torso is done, it's time to bake. And once he's baked and cooled down, it's time to start adding our clay. For this project, I'm using Super Sculpey Original. We're going to start with that on the body, cover that torso, bend his knees a little bit better than they were earlier, and then we can start adding some clay to those as well. Of course, some Bacon Bond first. This replaces wire wrapping. I think it's faster and works just as well. Once the legs are looking pretty good, we're going to pop on his shoes. I made these out of cosclay because they have a little thin swirl at the front of them and I don't want that breaking, and we all know cosclay stays flexible after it's baked and I don't have to worry about that. And just like his shoes, we're going to make the free hanging parts of his jacket out of cosclay as well. Just want to stick that on and blend it in with my Super Sculpey. And cosclay is wonderfully compatible with Super Sculpey. Now using my Explorer tool, we're going to add some details to the jacket. Now I just want to pop on his neck really quick before I add the collar, of course, because it gives me something to put the collar around. This is going to be a nice fluffy plush piece right here, and we're going to texture it with a toothbrush, but I find that using this tool instead works better because it gives me bigger fluffs and deeper indents. Now before I bake him, I want to mix together some Bacon Bond and clay softener to create a nice little texture on the surface. And he's ready to be pre-baked. And if you're wondering, I pre-bake every single time at the full time and temperature recommended by the manufacturer. And the reason I pre-baked him is so that when I work on his arms and other areas, I'm not smashing all that work I just put into his torso and legs. So if you've never pre-baked your sculptures before It is truly a game changer. After popping on his arms and adding some wrinkles, we're going to go ahead and make his hands out of cosplay as well so his fingers don't break off. And I don't have to reinforce them with wire. Now let's cap off his sleeves with some more fuzzy white trim. And just like that, his body is pretty much done. Let's move on to his head. For his head, I'm just adding some super sculpty living doll over this ball of aluminum foil, and I'm going to stick a little bamboo skewer in there to hold on to while I'm sculpting his face. Now I'm just going to press out his eye sockets with this large ball stylus, and then we're going to start working on the brow and figuring out where his nose is going to go. Now before I pop his nose on, I'm going to put his eyes in and get those finished up just so when I add the nose, I don't have to worry about smashing it when I'm working on the eyes. So I'm just going to sort of work my way down the face. After shaping out his eyelids and getting the eyes finished up, let's go ahead and pop on his nose, blend that in. And using my tiny ball stylus, we're going to press out his nostrils. Now for his eyes and cheeks, I want his face to look pretty emaciated. I want his eyes to be very sunken and skeletal looking, so we're just going to add this little band of clay around them to bring out that cheekbone and push his eyes further in. Alright, we're going to take a quick break from our video to talk about our sponsor, Squarespace. Whether you're a big business, a small business, a freelance designer, or sculptor like me, Squarespace has everything you need to showcase your brand, sell your products, and more. I've been using Squarespace for over 4 years now, even before they started sponsoring me, and I could not be happier with my experience. Their products are so streamlined and so easy to use that managing my website, aceofclay.com, is truly a breeze. Some of my favorite features include the portfolios and galleries. In my line of work, I have to show my art to the world, and Squarespace's beautiful portfolios allow me to do just that. I opened my online store where I sell stickers, posters, plushes, and more, and Squarespace makes everything so easy. I can track my inventory, print shipping labels, I get notifications when something sells, and everything I need is right there in the platform. You can even sell digital downloads. They really have everything you need to start selling online. And at this day and age, if you're an online business, you've got to have a social media presence, and Squarespace allows you to integrate all of your social media platforms into any page of your website. So if everything I said sounds good, head on over to squarespace.com, start a free trial, and when you're ready to go live, go to squarespace.com/aceofclay to save 10% on your purchase of a website or domain using my code aceofclay. Thanks again, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Now back to our sculpture. All right, let's go ahead and bring out that brow bone a little bit more too now that we did the cheekbones. And we're going to continue moving down the face. Next, we're going to do the nasolabial folds or smile lines. We're going to press in the mouth area a little bit and give him a nice, happy smile. This ear-to-ear grin is going to be made with my Explorer tool. I just want to shape out the entire mouth and then press in all of the individual teeth. But before I draw on the teeth, I want to press the mouth in a little bit more with this tool here, just making it more recessed from the rest of his face so that it looks more believable, and I'm not just drawing teeth on the same flat surface that the rest of his face is on. I want them to look like they're inside a mouth. Now I just want to pop on a quick little chin. This really brings it together. I don't know why, but adding the chin always like finishes off a face to me. I don't know, I like it. Now let's add some wrinkles and get this guy finished up. Now that his face is done, let's go ahead and give him some nice pointy elf ears. Once everything's looking pretty good, let's attach his head with some more bacon bond. Get that on, and then he's ready for another pre-bake after I smooth the surface, of course, with some clay softener. Once he's baked and completely cooled down, it's time to attach his hair and his hat. Just want to brush on some bacon bond first, and then add a little band of hair. I'm only going to make the hair that will be showing from around his hat, because there's no point in making the hair that's going to be covered up. Now I'm using this tool here to create his little curls. And to create his head, I just made this cone shape out of clay, and we're just going to stick it right on. And we're going to finish it off with a little band around the base of it. Tilt it just a little bit and add a little feather. And then we're going to finish him off with his big belt. And just like that, he's ready for his final bake. And once he's baked and cooled down, it's time for paint. All the paints that I'll be using in this video are Folk Art brand matte acrylics, Americana, Deco Art, and some of these Army Painter paints. We're going to start by just dry brushing a little bit of a lighter white on his skin and then go in and darken those eye sockets. And he ends up looking really creepy. Just keep watching. Just want to add that dark wash to his teeth, really bring out every single one of them. And we're going to go ahead and give him some nice solid black eyes. Now let's go in with a fine detail brush and add some more of that dark wash to all of his wrinkles. And to calm down some of those wrinkles a little bit, we're going to dry brush some more of that white color on the surface of his face, and then touch up the eyes. Now let's go ahead and paint his hair. The more I painted this guy, the more I just kept thinking this actually does look like a cursed, like Will Ferrell, I guess, if he were ever to be cursed. Now we're going to use my brand new bottle of triple thick. This is my old one. I've had it since literally 2009 and it still worked. But let's just hope they didn't screw up the formula. I used that triple thick on his eyes to make them nice and shiny. And then we're going in with some white on that fuzzy trim. And then we can start painting his pants yellow and his jacket green. Now I love these Army Painter paints because they have really good coverage. I mean, this is yellow, and yeah, it does take more than one coat. I think I did 2 or 3, give or take, but any other brand of paint, the yellow usually takes me like 5 to 6 coats to get this kind of coverage, so this saves you a little bit of time. The only reason I use the Folk Art matte one still is because if I really want a true matte finish, these Army Painter ones have a slight satin one, and that kind of drives me nuts sometimes, so that's really my reasoning there. Now I'm going in with a dark brown wash all over all of his clothes to dirty them up and make them look more interesting. Now let's paint up that base. And say it with me. And he's done! My Buddy the Elf but creepier sculpture is complete. Let me know how you think I did in the comments. I'm really enjoying this but creepier series, and I really hope you guys are too, because I just really like putting a creepy spin on beloved characters. So I don't know, I think Buddy came out extra creepy, a little more, I guess, realistic and less stylized than my usual look, but overall super creepy, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, TikTok at Ace of Clay, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.